March the 8th, 1971. It's exactly 50 years ago. It was also a Monday like today. What a weird day to have a fight. The original fight between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. The fight of the century, and the only one that truly deserves that tagline of the fights that have used it. Unbelievable encounter, so special for so many reasons. Better than the thriller in Manila. Manila is an unbelievable, brutal waltz between two guys who are starting to fade. And there's the key point. Fight of the century had both these guys near or at their peak. They represented different aspects of society. The blue-collar, relentless workaholic that was Joe Frazier against the defiant, to some people a hero, to some people a rebel, Muhammad Ali. It was an even split of money, $2.5 million each. It was huge at the time. And it was the first heavyweight fight since 1927 to top it in terms of overall gross. Jack Dempsey and Gene Tunney fought their rematch in 1927, and it wasn't until Ali Frazier won that more money was generated for a single fight. That is how important this was. Joe Frazier, as he warmed up in the changing room before being interviewed by Archie Moore, he didn't really want to talk to him. He was starting to rev up the engines. He was saying, it gives you a little bit more motivation to go a little further. And boy, did he go a bit further in the ring. The effort that Joe Frazier put in to defeat Muhammad Ali that night, he really was a 200-pound Henry Armstrong. It was just the epitome of being relentless in the ring. And how good was Muhammad Ali in a losing effort? Is it the greatest losing effort of all time? People forget Ali was in there to do damage. His prediction was a 6th round stoppage. Go and watch the second round of this fight. See how Muhammad Ali, with those fluid combinations, is tracking Joe Frazier's bobbing head, slamming rights in, ripping in hooks. He was really in there to do damage. Wonderful clash of styles. Frazier could be easy to hit, but then that head never stopped moving. He would weave under the right hand, gain ground, and then boom! In went probably the most famous left hook in all of boxing. There's a funny little moment in this fight that people might not know about, which is the referee Arthur Mercante. At one point, he accidentally thumbs Joe Frazier in the eye when he attempts to separate them. There's a moment where Frazier walks away and Mercante doesn't know what's going on. He goes, come on, you guys fight again. Frazier walks off like, what the hell's going on? I've got to fight Ali and this guy's thumbing me. So if you see that moment, that's actually what's happening. It was so high skill and grueling. It's the kind of fight you can rewatch and you'll always see new little things. It is just pulsating. 15 rounds. It's 45 minutes long. You watch it and it just goes by in the blink of an eye because of how exciting it is. Ali was just incredible. Still in his 20s, and he had argued in the lead up to this fight to those who were saying you don't have your legs anymore, like you did pre-XL. He was saying, I've got my man strength now. I'm sitting down on my punches. That's how I was able to stop Oscar Bonavena in my previous fight in the 15th round, which no one else ever did. Ali was tracking that head. He was doing his best, but at some point past the 6th and 7th round, the relentlessness of Joe Frazier, the fact he had failed in his prediction now, it just started to go a little bit wrong. And then we all saw something we hadn't seen from Ali at this point. His incredible resolve, his heart. And it just continued to be an incredible encounter. The 13th round might actually be the best in terms of action. The exchanges are unbelievable. Though it was the 11th that Frazier really hurt Ali, and of course it was the 15th and final round that he decked him with that iconic hook. Close competitive fight, but Frazier was a clear winner and scored today. Of course, Frazier would get 10-8 rounds for the 11th and the 15th. Some have said and theorised that the pre-XL Ali would have been too slick, too swift and agile and outpointed Joe Frazier. But I've never thought there's been that strong of an argument to say that that definitely would have happened. The Joe Frazier of 50 years ago today was an absolute tank. And this is a guy who was hell-bent on proving that I'm the best in the world. He just absolutely went for it. He went for it so much and was willing to take so much that he was the worst off in the end. Yes, Ali went to hospital. He had a swollen jaw. It wasn't broken. I think he may have been pissing blood as well after the fight. But it was Frazier who went to hospital for longer. High blood pressure problems. He really got lumped up in there. In attaining the ultimate victory, he paid quite a high price. And he was never the same fighter. And psychologically, where do you go after climbing such a mountain? You've basically conquered the world. You are the man. Unbelievable fight. And if anyone said it's the best fight they've ever seen, especially at heavyweight, can't complain.